Hey, I'm Hailey.
And I'm Jessi.
And you're listening to
Personality Hire, the podcast where I thought I was going too fast, too furious on my way over here because a man in front of me slowed down and waved me on out of his window. And then when I saw right up ahead I immediately clocked what I was going, which was a easy breezy 32 miles per hour.
Oh.
And then I went up ahead and the speed limit was 30. So, but you know, this man rattled me. I thought
he made you, he gaslit you.
Yeah. He made me think that I was rocking and rolling and that I was Vin Dieseling.
How old was he?
I'm going to say late 50s, early 60s. I mean, he wasn't like too old.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think he felt something about me and
maybe something was going on with his car that he couldn't go faster. Or that he didn't want to go faster. Like maybe a tire was doing this.
I don't think so. I think that this man just felt cranky. And I can relate to that.
Oh, so he
just felt cranky. He said.
He was literally passive. He told you
he said,
pass.
"Get off my lawn."
And
but I wasn't. So there's that. Hi. Welcome to this week's episode. It's so good to see you.
It's so great to see you. Even though...
Don't you wish sometimes that this could be like a two-way...
All the time.
I wish we had...
An audience.
Like just like a wall of screens. And every screen is
we saw like different
face.
Zoom screens.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Zoom call.
A Zoom call.
It's a Zoom call is what I want.
The corporate girly, you can take her out of the corporate world, but you can't take the corporate out of her. Because I will say, I don't like Zoom calls.
Oh, I don't like them. But I don't
like all the... Because I'm like, oh my God, who's looking at me? I don't know which one. Maybe all of them. Probably none of them.
I think I'm just also very interested to see like somebody's live action reaction.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Maybe they're all on mute.
I've never done comedy or entertainment on Zoom. So I've never had the experience. But if I did, I bet I would like it.
If this was COVID, you and I would have already planned a Zoom like comedy live podcast for sure.
We would have been done.
For COVID, we would have been like, get your tickets.
I literally didn't have a job.
Well, we would have been doing that.
That was wild. When I think about that time, I think about I had too much time. I had too much time on my hands. I remember I just gotten off a play, so I was like extra too much time. Like not only was I not working, but I didn't have like my extracurriculars. And I would do every open call, every blah, blah, blah on Zoom. And I would make my whole day about it. I'd be like, I'm filming an audition tonight to send in to this casting director who's doing an open like hello call where they're just like letting actors send in self-tapes just to, I guess, to discover new talent.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't think it helped. None.
Well, what else were you going to do though?
No, I don't know. I dedicated my entire life to doing like open calls.
I purchased many tickets to live streams. Like I remember there were a lot of different musicians and comedians that would do live streams, and I would do that.
I think I was just so financially nervous. Like I was like, and I was not getting those checks that everybody was getting from the government. I received like one.
Well, the live streams weren't like, I don't think that they were like too expensive, but I just remember that was the era where we were all
groceries. Like that's how I felt.
We were all Zooming.
We were all Zooming.
Zip zap Zooming.
Crazy.
And today I think we're going to get back to something that Hailey and I did in days of yore on this podcast, which is
that don't give you anxiety.
We've got
the opposite, actually.
We've got some hot topics. Now, if you remember...
Hot topics. Heavy on the hot topic.
If you remember, we thrive whenever we have some set topics at the top of our episodes. And to be quite frank with you, we've got two really good ones today. And we're just going to riff and raff. That's what we're best at with hot topics.
And speaking of hot topics... The first one of today is malls.
Let's talk about malls. I'm
incredibly passionate.
I have a lot of thoughts. I don't know where you want to start because my top thought is we could talk about the state of malls now before we launch into how they were, or scratch that, flip it, reverse it, do how they were to how they are now.
I think we should let our freak flag fly and like just go off feeling. So
let me put my arm around you because that's what I'm feeling right now.
Also, do you guys, for our viewers at home, for our viewers on Zoom, on our live stream during COVID, I have a nice blanket. I chilled my house to my little condo to a crisp 65 degrees so that I could do this, which wasn't hard at this time of year, which I brilliant. I know we're not supposed to talk about the weather, but guys, it's brilliant right now.
We are making a mindful effort to stop talking about the weather as much.
Because we love it.
But we're also from the South. We're not from the South, not all of us, but we live in the South. It's a hot topic. I think that, so malls have played a very important role in my life throughout my entire life because malls were something that was a true bonding experience between my mom and I and my sister and I. My mom and I were hitting up the Gwinnett Place Mall. Like that was our third spot. We talked about like you have a third place. We loved the mall. I loved going with my mom to the mall. That's always been so important to me. And that sort of like the shopping aspect with your mom. My mom never made me feel weird about anything. I know some people have some maybe like not so warm and fuzzy memories of shopping with their mothers growing up, especially at the mall. I always loved it. Wet Seal was always there. We were always hitting up Abercrombie, American Eagle. Now, I think that I might be living in a bubble because we live in Atlanta. But the way that I perceive malls now is nowhere near the perception I had as a young girl. Now they are still an experience, but because we live where we live, the malls are like they're mostly like luxury stores now. There's very little like I don't even know if Hollister is even in our mall anymore. I think that it went away. It did it? Okay.
We have, well, if you're talking about Lenox.
I just feel like I remember the malls were a little bit more gritty. They were a little bit more like, come as you are.
Go get a pretzel. Right. You know what I mean? But instead at our mall now, it's like, go get sushi.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I will.
I am now. Yeah. Like, I'm not. Like, I think that it's elevated experience for me, and at my age now, that works for me, and I want that
for tweens.
And I think that in the suburban areas where maybe the tweens and the teens who would be actively in their mall era right now, I think that those malls are pretty desolate. I think that they don't have as many stores to choose from. I think a lot of the malls are closing, and I'm wondering, just so many. I'm like, where do the kids hang out now, if not at the mall? Where did
in an alleyway where
maybe they're not hanging out,
needles on the ground,
or maybe they're not hanging out.
Maybe they're on Twitch.
Because I also know that the youths now, it's not a priority to them to get their driver's license the same way it was for me. Because my priority was to get my driver's license. What do you
mean it's not their priority?
It's not. It is not. This active generation of people turning into 15, 16
I can tell you why.
Very reliant. They're Ubers. They Uber. They ride share.
I can tell you why too. Because that generation, that tweens, and we went into, do you remember like the original iPad kid? It's like very much curated experiences for you, and it's not their fault, and it's not their parents' fault, because we move and groove with generations, and like we have to figure it out. But I do notice this with the Uber generation, with the kids, because they had a better situation where they didn't have to, I don't know how to explain it. They didn't have to like work as hard to get things done, but it's not their fault and it's not their parents' fault. I'm not blaming anyone.
I think from what
I'm just saying the way technology hit at a certain time, everything was curated. So it's like, oh, look, you can watch your little TV here. You can watch your little TV. Everything was done for them, but it's not because out of like laziness. But I just feel like that's probably why.
I've heard from my direct sources, being my cousins that are much younger than me, that it's also some sort of, there's anxiety around it. Not necessarily that the technology had much to do with it, other than I think technology does increase anxiety the more you use it at whatever age. But there's a lot of anxiety around driving. But again, a separate topic. But I'm like, where are the kids hanging now? Because I also hung out at Quick Trip. Why? I don't know, but I did. I would meet friends at Quick Trip. We'd sit in our cars off to the side near where you blow up your tires.
Yeah, that seems dangerous.
It was.
Okay, that seems
drinking
very
my
dangerous.
Rooster Booster.
Oh my gosh. I actually, I don't know where the kids are hanging, and quite frankly, because I don't have one and I do hope the best for them, I don't care. But I do care about that they understand the joy and the love of getting their name written on rice and put into a necklace. And that's something you could do, or you used to be able to do at a kiosk at a mall. So you didn't have to go to Bahamas and get your hair braided and get a henna tattoo. I don't know what people do on vacation when they went on cruises, but they did that, and they got a shirt where their heads were really big and their bodies were really small, and they were wearing like really neon bright bikinis. But you didn't have to go on vacation to get all that. You could just go to your local mall kiosk and get your name inscribed on a piece of rice.
It's true. I also remember at the Gwinnett Place Mall, another hot ticket store was the Sanrio store.
I've never heard of that.
That's where Hello Kitty and that's the brand. That's
okay.
Karopi and Spotty Dotty and My Melanie.
Do you know they have a store like that now called Lunchbox?
Yes, and also Pop Mart does some of the same stuff too. And there's also a lot of those different stores in Duluth, in like the Buford Highway Duluth area for sure. But I just remember it was mostly for me, the mall heyday. It was the breadth and the variety of what you could buy at this store. Like to your point about like a rice necklace, I could also bebop over to my Spotty Dotty pencil case, and then I could zip zap to Wet Seal and get some lace up jeans. I have this path in my own mall now. There's 2 malls that I go to, and I have a path. I park in a certain place, and then I go through my path. Growing up, and again, it was also a very good experience for me and my mom. Me and my mom didn't have a lot to bond over growing up just because she wasn't around too much. But one thing that we did have in common was shopping. We still both love it. And we had so much fun, and that was such a good experience. And we would go with my best friend and her mom, and we'd all go shopping. We'd go to the St. Louis Galleria. But our path was, you go through the entrance near Olga's. Have you heard of an Olga's? Don't know who that is.
They had the most phenomenal bread with garlic butter. It was so good.
That feels very Midwestern. That feels like a good Midwestern like tradition. Olga's, you know.
Yeah, but it was like a Mediterranean Olive Garden. Does that make sense? So like Olive Garden, but Mediterranean.
Well, is Italian
style.
food Mediterranean by nature? Some of it is.
Maybe. I'm not
Who
sure
knows?
of that. I'm just
Don't
sure
fact
that
check
they had
me.
euros. It was stuff like that.
The map in my mind is different than the map on Google, so don't Google that.
Yes.
And don't worry about it.
And
you would go to Olga's, you'd get your bread.
Yes, and then we would walk through the bottom floor. There'd be a Claire's to your left where I got my ears pierced twice. Because I had to take them out because I got infected, and then I had to re-pierce them. And I'll never forget that. There was a PacSun on the left. If I was feeling cool, there was to the right, there was an Express. You go a little bit further. That's where you hit your first escalators, like roundabout part. JCPenney's, but wait, there's Victoria's Secret Pink. And then you go up a little bit more, and there's a Francesca's. There's a Forever 21. You go upstairs, and all of your dreams will come true because you spot a Limited 2. And across from Limited 2 is a Club Libby Lou.
What is that?
Club
it's so
Libby
funny
Lou?
because Hailey and I are, we're like, hold on, I have to stand up. We're several years apart. Like I'm several years older than Hailey. And sometimes it doesn't feel that significant. But then other times when we're recanting things about our childhood, it's extremely, the gap is significant because there was no Francesca's Closet. There was the Limited 2 was like, I was already like out of there. And I don't even know what a Libby Lou-Hoos is.
I've got to tell you about Club Libby Lou because you would love it now. And so would I. Club Libby Lou was this place that it was by appointment only. You could go shop, but you would get an appointment in there and you could dress up like a rock star, like an actress. Like it was classic little girl stuff where they would do your hair and makeup, and they do like the 90s, early 2000s where the things like where your hair was like that.
The spiky.
And they'd give you a wireless mic set.
It was like a glamour shot situation?
That's where they actually missed the mark. But if we were to reinvent this today, we would obviously make a photo moment and like a video content creation moment. But at this point, no, there was a stage though. there was a stage and you could get up and lip sync. You can get up and do karaoke.
Were you buying
could do
the
dance.
outfit, or were you just were you just going in and like living your truth, and then you got to like go back to the real world like nothing happened after Club Libby Lou?
Okay, so I remember it was like the birthday girl who got the cool outfit, and the rest of us just dressed knowing we were going, and we would get our hair and makeup done, but we wouldn't get the outfit. But I think if you were the birthday girl or you were the one, I only went for birthdays.
I was going to say, this feels like a great birthday party though.
It is. And you would just go in and it was just fabulous. You got to pick everything out. You felt like a big girl. Honestly, I would feel like a rock star now if I went and did it. You could go in there and shop. You could buy the clothes. It was all shiny, obviously. It's like that material from the early 2000s where it's like spandex and shiny dance costumes. And
yeah,
it
holographic.
Was just, yes, holographic. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. I loved it so much. And next door was an icing. Do you guys remember icing?
Yes,
it's like Claire's.
I preferred icing because in my mind there was an edge to icing that icing was Claire's didn't have.
I thought it was like an older girl's icing or
agree.
Claire's. I thought icing was the older girl version of Claire's.
Did you have either Rave or the Body Shop?
We had Rave, and I think we had the Body Shop, and I just never went in because I think I was too young at whatever point. And
wait, sorry.
It went away.
The Body Shop is skincare. Just Body Shop was just clothes.
Okay. But the Body Shop, yes, we had the Body Shop with the skincare. Beautiful soaps.
But Body Shop and Rave are the almost exact equivalent of a Shein or a Temu today.
Yeah.
Like that was my first experience of walking into a store. First of all, the overhead fluorescent lights are going to accost you. There was no lighting design in this place. No. There was absolutely no lighting. It was the absolute accostement on your face of just horrible lighting. And then next, the smell. Because I don't remember
the smell of Rave.
Of cheap clothes. It's the undeniable smell of cheap clothes.
And the plastic hangers.
Whew.
Those plastic hangers, like if I worked at those stores today, I just cleaned out a closet this past Friday for a client. And one of my first go-tos when I go into a client's closet is your hangers. I would like them to be the same type of hanger if we could, and no wire hangers unless it's for specific objects. Sometimes men are weird about that. They like having them for their crisp, like their dry cleaning.
That's probably just because that's what it comes on.
I know, but I think they think like it
helps, like it keeps them more crisp or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would say that those hangers in Rave, I remember them plastic with the like metal top.
Yes.
And
yes,
I remember a tank that I got from there, and I remember the time I bought it. I kept walking by Rave. I would go in there with my 16-year-old babysitter, Jenna, which we have talked about her on the pod, friend of the pod, Jenna. Mm-hmm. I don't know where she is today. I hope her so well.
This is an SOS.
Yes. Jenna, are you okay?
Not that Rave. We know you're okay. Yeah. That's what we're going to hold in our hearts, but the SOS meaning we'd love to reconnect.
Right. And we'd love to talk about Rave.
We'd love for you to be a face on one of our Zoom walls.
Oh, yes. But so I went into Rave with my dad one time, and this is hilarious. I am in the dressing room, and my dad was very uncomfortable. Groot took me shopping all the time, by the way. But this was the first, like, junior store that he took me into. I was young. I was like 8 or 9. I shouldn't have been in here. Actually, let him cook. I should have been in there, but not with my dad. Anyway, so I'm trying on tops, and all of a sudden I hear my dad go, "Hailey, we gotta leave." And someone called him a name. Someone called him a slur in Rave. And I remember that was the last time I went into Rave because my dad said, "I don't want you going in there."
I do think for me, Body Shop and Rave, I had no business being in there at all, ever. I don't think I ever made one purchase from there because...
At Rave?
Never, ever, ever, because my mom was always with me. And the clothes were scantily clad at the time that I was shopping there. Maybe they had turned a corner.
I mean, I only think I have one item, or I'd had one item.
A lot of them,
full tank top.
A lot of them had rings. Like for instance, I remember there was a ring maybe at your chest plate, your breastbone. There was a silver ring, and then from that ring were scraps of material tied off of it that you were then to tie around your back, around your neck to make a top. And I remember thinking that was my vibe. but my mom reminding me that it actually was not my vibe.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will
She
never
said you're a
forget,
child.
I will never forget, and I have it in my cart, and I might pull the trigger one of these days. It is the butterfly top that all of the pop stars were wearing that were popular.
Yeah.
They had it at Rave and Body Shop, and it was truly just it's like a backless top that the front is just a butterfly. And
Yeah.
I still want that top.
I almost bought one in LA at Melrose Trading
What
Post.
a great top.
But you can get one on Shein now.
Yeah,
So it's like,
I feel like I still love to go to the mall. Like every so
love the mall.
often I do have this strong desire to go to the mall. And honestly, sometimes when I'm out in a boot and I'm by myself and I've got about a hot 30 to kill and I'm in the area, I'm going to go to the mall.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see what the mall has to offer me. I do like shopping in person. I really, really do. I find that the selection's never what I want. And I'm also finding the older that I get, I come up with these things that I want in my mind's eye that don't exist. And so that's on me. That's on me.
I do that too. I go in somewhere thinking that I'm going to find this one thing that I've made up that I've never seen before, but I know it exists because it needs to exist. And then it's not there. I will say when I moved to Atlanta in 2016, I think that when you attend a mall regularly, or at least like every few months, you will be shown things that will be bigger later. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to malls. Like Gap. I remember thinking in 2016, which Gap has always been like, they have been around forever. So it's not like, but they have come up with so many good collabs and collections within the past few years. And I've been so impressed with them and their quality has always been so good. But I remember going in 2016 and me being with my roommate and her being like, you want to go to the Gap? And I was like, yeah, I love their jeans. I love their jeans. And guess what? Love their jeans. So good. So I feel like you discover things that you don't think you're going to like when you go to a mall.
I think working in a mall is a whole other level of interesting because I do have extremely fond memories of having the mall be an outlet for me to like express myself and go shopping and bond with my mom, all those good things. But then when you actually work at a mall, it's similar to me to where I would love to commiserate with someone that has worked at an amusement park or someone that has worked at like a stadium or something like that. Well, I've also worked at music venues, but the mall, you're going to see all kinds. And I want to tell you something now that I'm going to try to say it with as much just factual information as I can. Now, there are a group of people that do not live in Atlanta proper, but they are, I'm going to say they're South Georgia
this is
folks.
so real.
And they all have a very distinct look to them. This is not, I'm like not trying to be derogatory at all, but they are a type of people that they truly have their own little.
They're from a small town.
And they have only ever been with one another. Mm-hmm. So this small town, they all look alike. All of them look alike. They have their own dialect. They have their own words. Like, for instance, they call a bag that you might put your purchase in a sackle. They've got a lot of young moms with a lot of really young kids. And the moms and the grandmas and the aunts come with their kids to mall. Now, in my day, they would come to Lenox Mall constantly. These people were also known for shoplifting and they liked expensive things. And for instance, when I worked at Betsy Johnson, they would come in, they would do a lap, they would talk in their gibberish so you couldn't kind of understand them. And it's not like a Pig Latin situation. It's like they truly have this like indigenous weird speak, okay? And they're going to do a lap, and then sometimes after their lap, because they've caught you off guard, they come all in, they look peculiar. I'm just being real. They look peculiar. They've got a lot of bouffant hairdos. All their clothes look like they're straight out of, I don't know, a time gone by. There are particular people and you just know them when you see them. But anyway, they come into your store, they do a little lap. They kind of do a tap show for you with their weird sackles and their weird language. And then they leave. And then all you see are some hangers blowing in the breeze because they've distracted you and they've yeeted some of your clothing right off the rack and into their sackles. And then they're already halfway down the mall and you can't get them. And so I just think a lot of times people don't realize when you work at a mall, not only the things that you see, but also the shit you put up with in terms of like shoplifting and people treating you like crap and running into people that are freaky.
No, also the amount of people that I don't want to, when I am at my place of work, I don't want to know you. Like, I don't want to see the people that I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am busy. I'm working.
Well, one thing that would always...
And at a mall, you see all your friends.
You would see your friends, but the other thing
I
would
didn't
be...
have any friends who worked at the mall, by the way. I'm thinking about this. Not one.
I did like it when it was near closing because the store that we worked at was so tiny that you had one opener and one closer. And, you know, debatable one of that was why I got robbed all the time, but that's neither here nor there. But I would love it when my friends would come in on like a Thursday or Friday night when I was closing, and then they would close down with me. They didn't work there.
Okay, well, that's fun.
But yeah, isn't that fun?
I mean,
like that's a great memory.
That's fun. But like, I mean, like running into, let's say I'm working and all of a sudden, like someone from my math class walks in and I'm like, I don't really know you. And now I feel like we gotta get chummy and someone's stealing something over there.
It is. Like, that's so true.
I wouldn't like that aspect.
On the opposite coin of me knowing people that didn't know me back of when I was working at the mall, celebrities would come in, all the time, especially in Atlanta.
We've
like Lennox and Phipps are very big celebrity, malls. Like you're going to probably see a celebrity. And that was always really cool. Like I've met like JC from NSYNC and Bruce Springsteen and Beyonce and Brandy and like whatever, like those kind of cool people would come in. But when you see someone come into your store that you know in your outside life, but they didn't know you worked there, and so it's just happenstance that they come into the store. Like, no, take the mall part out of it. Any job you work, like whether you work in an ice cream store or whatever, there's something jarring about that because you feel kind of naked, where you're like, you're not supposed to see me like this.
No, also because this is another life I live.
Right, you're not supposed to see me like this.
This is me and my other family. Like, you're not supposed to see
me in this uniform, me in this complete outfit.
It's not me
in this customer service voice I'm doing. You're not. This is not.
This is not. No, it's weird.
That's right.
And I feel like I didn't know anyone who worked at the mall. I just remember. I don't know. I just remember going with my girlfriends. Like, it was such a big deal, especially when I was 16, when I had a license. Me and Brittany Meatloaf, we'd pile in my Ford Fusion and we'd drive our butts, which I don't know why I have a Southern accent. I'm literally from St. Louis. Going to the mall. So I'm talking like this, Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, wide vowels. We're going to the mall. We go inside the mall and we tear it up. With our $50. We only have $50 to spend, and we're going to spend it. I'm going to get a shimmery toxic lip gloss from Victoria's Secret. I am going to get 2 tops from Forever 21, and I'm going to go up to Buckle, shade my face because my ex-boyfriend's in there, and then I'm going to go across to the, thank gosh, they're not real anymore, but pet store, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm interested in buying a puppy, and then we get to go pet a puppy in like one of their little rooms that you get to go meet the puppies.
Do you remember the Brookstone stores where you could go in and like they had all the latest and greatest electronics and massage chairs, and they also had that weird, do you remember, oh my gosh, I hope you remember this, it was at Brookstone, but it was also at KB Toys. You would walk in the middle of the store, there was like an enclosure weird thing where there was a battery operated ball that had like a tail attached to it that would whip around like a ferret.
Okay, I remember that.
Do you remember those?
They still have them at the kiosk.
What's the deal with that?
By the way, you go to a mall now, they still have the weird kiosks with the weird toys that are definitely, you can buy them off Amazon for like less than half the price. But one of the toys is always a ball with a ferret
tail. What are we trying to do with that?
That's for, or what it's for.
What was the deal? I don't know, but I do remember Brookstone. Yeah, you're going to see all the latest and greatest technology, and then maybe you're going to head up a KB Toys and see what the deal is in there as well. Gosh, you just said something and it jogged my memory about being 16 and being at the mall. Hot Topic. We did allude to that at the top here, but we didn't really go into it. Hot Topic was very important to me because it's where I got my first pair of Dickies, and Dickies pants. There were, they're for the working class man. So naturally,
So naturally,
as a
you needed
sophomore in
them.
high school.
You also wore a tie.
I wore
Yeah,
ties.
she was for the business class.
I
Man.
dare you. I dare you
A wife
to try
beater,
to
which
absolutely.
they used to be called. We call
Now
them
they're
wife
pleasers now.
A wife pleaser for the
I
jobless
did.
man.
And I dare you to guess who my style icon was at the time.
Avril Lavigne.
Life's like this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I
Right.
did go into Hot
That's the way it
Topic.
is.
I loved speaking of walls of stuff, they have walls of t-shirts. And any band you ever knew or didn't know of was going to be on there. Also, some like dark art stuff. Like,
Yeah,
oh
there's
my
like
gosh.
there's some witchy stuff in there.
Remember these like the two heavy metal balls that I think they have Chinese
go like
roots,
this.
and the two balls, and they're supposed to relax you. The original fidget
They go like,
spinner, and they make kind of bell noise.
Yeah, because they like ding together and it's
and
kind
you
of satisfying.
roll them around in your hand. The original fidget spinner.
We should definitely be doing this online.
Life's like this.
We're just doing this. I still go into Hot Topic. Well, I did.
Hot Topic.
Well, I meant
go.
like I went. There's one at Perimeter.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
But I went to one at my growing up mall, the same Hot Topic that's always been there. I went in there not last year, but the year before to get my dad's stocking stuffers. I got him a Billie Eilish t-shirt, and I can't remember another t-shirt. But
Dads do love Billie Eilish.
my dad loves Billie Eilish.
I'm a
he also loves
guy.
Dua Lipa.
Dads also love Dua Lipa.
Yeah, he's always like, I'm really impressed by the way she's like
Put
she used to
together.
be- well, no, the way
I'm just
she
kidding,
used to
Groot.
like stink, like her
Yeah.
like whole vibe.
Anything's
and
possible if
her
your
glow up.
If your dad can afford. Yes, her dad said, "You want to be a pop star? I'm gonna make that happen." And she put in the work. She took the voice lessons. She made it happen.
Yeah. And she really did something there, I guess. But I still think of like there was the weird hippie stores in the mall where you could buy crystals, and it was before crystals were even
Where
like,
you could also buy
poppin'.
like the Enya CDs where
Yes,
you
and incense, and they smelled like incense.
Yeah.
Incense.
I also remember at Hot Topic, this was an important part of my lore, is that I was at a friend's house and that morning after a slumber party, I started my period. So I called my mom and I'm like, something's happening. And she's like, I'll be right over to pick you up. And when I get there, she has pads and stuff for me because I'm like, I'm in need of
feminine
items.
products.
And then she takes me to the mall to celebrate getting my period because I think she was freaked out. I think she was just as freaked out as I am, but she was trying to be cool about it.
Yeah.
So I walked
scary.
Walked into Hot Topic, and
You got
there was
something with blood on
fingernail
it?
polish that was mood changing fingernail polish.
Shut up.
And
Did it
I
work?
remember, can't say, but I do remember that was something I got just because my mom thought it was like interesting and cool and also funny because I was
Mood was changing.
whatever. And so I got that from Hot Topic. But that like that's just a good part. To understand me, you need to understand that like when good things happened in my childhood, or if freaky things were happening in my childhood, or if it was just a normal day in my childhood, I would go to the mall with my mom.
Yeah.
Like I went to the mall.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a universal, maybe not actually. That doesn't sound like a universal experience now that I'm saying it, but I also had that experience.
I think, a lot of people do have it, but
Yeah.
I understand too that some people are like,
No.
my mom didn't take me
anywhere, or it took me everywhere. But I also think it's really interesting. I think about all of my stages of mallhood because even in college, I would want to go to the Tuscaloosa Mall. The Tuscaloosa Mall had nothing.
I was gonna say that I've been to that one. It's kind of like a long hallway with not a lot happening.
Yes, yes. The best thing there is in Aunt Annie's. Craisin Raisin. I can't even believe I remember the name of my favorite pretzel, Craisin Raisin.
Speaking of delicious mall food, did they also have a Great American Cookie?
Of course. And if you didn't, what are you doing? You know what else they had? They had the Great American Cookie. We had what was the sub shop that's not Subway, but it's the other one. And they had a turkey ranch and Swiss. Nope. It might be Northern and Midwestern. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
We had a bomb Chinese place. The Panda Express. When I first saw my first standalone Panda Express, I said, "Where's the mall?" Because you can't be a Panda Express not in a mall. But apparently you can.
The orange chicken tastes better at the mall. Like when you go to a drive-through Panda
I need you to
Express,
go like this.
It's not going to be,
And I
it's not
need
going
it
to
on
hit
a
the
tray.
same.
I also need to be holding the red tray that the food goes on that plate, on the foam plate. I need to be holding, and it tastes better. The food tastes better.
Also, I just
We had a
remember.
Sbarro.
Oh, for
Everybody
sure.
has a Sbarro.
Everybody has Sbarro. I just remember that I would eat double doozies from Great American Cookie Company.
What's that?
Oh,
I was
my
never
God.
allowed to get the cookies.
Oh girl, they take 2 of their delicious cookies. My preference was the M&M chocolate chip cookies.
It's still so good.
Then on one of the cookies, face down, you're going to fill it up with your delicious frosting. Then you're going to take another cookie and you're going to put it on the top, and you're going to make a sandwich. An icing sandwich, and it's called a double doozy.
That makes me want to puke, but also at the same time, I want 3 bites.
Think about being a child though, and not having any like frame of reference for how much sugar or like the sweet overload.
Just like when we talked about the Starbucks Frappuccinos that you used to get before voice lessons, that double white chocolate chip, white chocolate chip, white chocolate. I remember where I had my first one of those. At the mall, right outside the JCPenney, at the Starbucks, and I thought Starbucks was so fancy. So I was walking around with my Starbucks.
Nothing like
this.
Coat in your throat before you go to your singing lessons with some dairy.
And I'm sitting there like this with my, I think on this arm, I'm going to have like a PacSun bag, and I got like a tank top that was on clearance.
Right.
But I have shopping bags, right? Because I'm shopping. I have that. I have eyeliner on, but not mascara, because I didn't know.
Also, even if you did, it's going to be Great Lash, and that never shows up.
Yeah.
I know Great Lash is truly
I
for
think
some
my mom
people,
still uses it.
and I know,
And some people
I'm sorry,
love it.
if you've got a
when
stick,
I'm on sets, by the way, sometimes they use it, and I'm like,
if you have a stick lash that points down like mine,
you can't
Great
do a
Lash
Great
ain't doing
Lash.
nothing
No,
for you.
it's
But
not gonna
I do
lift.
respect that it is a classic.
I love a classic.
Because I also would wear Great
L'Oreal
Lash.
Telescopic is great mascara, but not good for stick lashes.
Is your eyeliner in this scenario? Because I went through 2 phases. My first eyeliner phase in my mall days was white. Top eyeliner white on the top.
Okay, you were cooler than me.
And then the second phase was like black,
was
but
just
all
black.
around. But I did the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I did a full circle.
And there was no cat eye to be found. So it was just the roundest, scariest ghost eyes you've ever seen in your life.
Also, mind you, we didn't color in our eyebrows back then, and I had blonde hair. I still dye my eyebrows to this day. I have red hair now, but it's dyed. Blonde eyelashes, blonde, whatever these are called, eyebrows. I looked like a freaky frack. And I probably had a thick lip gloss on. And Jessi, I didn't know what I was doing. I just put it on because I was an adult going to the mall, shopping with my 99-cent PacSun tank top. And next, I'm going to go to Forever 21 and get 6 things. And then I'm going to go, what was that store where you got the thongs?
Well, that was Charlotte Russe.
No, Rue 21.
Well, I went to Charlotte Russe to get my thongs, and I would have to stash them in other bags.
Same.
So my mom wouldn't see.
I wasn't allowed to wear a thong. I remember.
Because I wanted to whale tail in peace at school. Like, my mom could not.
I didn't even want to whale tail. I didn't want anyone to know except my girlfriends. Well, but I wanted to purchase them. And honestly, I'd put them on and take them right off. I never actually wore them.
I wanted to whale tail in peace, and then I also wanted to go to Bath and Body Works and get my roll-on body glitter. Because that's also what you're going to the mall for.
You're
getting your roll-on body glitter.
This is where we cross over in age, because do you remember it was Bath and Body Works, they had like a tween section, and they had like blue raspberry roll-on. Like, if I could buy that today, I would. Yes. I know that it would disrupt my hormones for sure. I don't care. Give it to me.
Yeah.
I still purchase, and tell me, I actually know the answer of this, but I'm just going to pose this for the class or for the meeting here. We buy things today that we would have bought back in the day. And I think our generation, millennials especially, are doing this, but we buy things that are literally the same things that we used to buy when we were tweens, but now we have money to buy them, and now these expensive brands are making them, and we're buying them. I bought, how much glitter did I buy this summer that had SPF? And it's better too, by the way. Now I have SPF glitter.
I bought a Tamagotchi.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I bought a caboodle. Nostalgia for the 90s is, well, this is also like another like whole masterclass in marketing.
Couture from early aughts.
There was
swimsuit cover up
when you lived through the
eBay.
90s, the nostalgia for it is real, because it was a time where being loud and colorful and being accessorized were
Was the thing.
encouraged
And
for young girls.
yes. And I think we should still encourage that. And I feel like it's coming back around, obviously. But even like when I see, I don't know, like when I see videos on my study, I study on TikTok, and I see all of these videos about like beige homes and whatever. And I'm like, I could not be more bored, fart noise. And if I want to go home, I want to feel like I'm stepping into, and the same with my closet. I want to feel like it's the version of me that I'm not always that version, but I want to be that version always. It's like the best of you. You can have the best of me.
Just have the option to also access. I think that's the cool thing about clothes and accessories is that when you collect them the way you and I do, and you keep them for a long time, and you keep them because
and you actually use them and wear them.
But it allows you to access a certain time frame of happiness that you had, and it allows you to be nostalgic in a real, like, literal and tangible way. The nostalgia is the thing, and the thing is the clothing item, or the like whatever, or the roll-on body glitter, or the Tamagotchi. And that, I don't know why the tangibility of the thing is so hot right now, especially for the 90s, but there's something to be said about that, and I love it.
Yeah.
I really, really,
it makes me so happy.
Well, I hope that Scooby-Doo appreciates my love of this stuff, because my mom bought me so much cool stuff because she just loved it. And I'm like, girl, I'm like, I want you to have blow up furniture. I want you to have a bead curtain in your room.
Yes.
I want you to have, you know what I mean?
Okay. And I will say,
I want you to have a see-through phone.
I think our moms now, or at least the moms that I am friends with, are doing a really good job of creating that childhood magic. And it makes me so happy. I went shopping with my friend Kat and her daughter, who's a little bit older, and getting to shop with her daughter and like run into stuff. Like, I just felt like I was like, oh my gosh, am I old? This is why I thought I was old. I thought I was her age and old at the same time. I thought I was old because she'd be like, I'm bored. Like, can we leave the store? And I'm like, I'm having the time of my life. What are you talking about? Like, hold on, be quiet. Mommy's shopping, like, sort of thing. And then the other half of me was like, I get it. Like, let's run. And then we'd go try stuff on, and we'd go into big girl stores. And I say big girl because we'd go into Free People, and she's 11. We would go in there.
She feels Free People vibey.
No, and she could try stuff on. And I like, it just made me so happy to see her like shopping with us. And like, it just was so, I felt with her. Like, I just felt like we were all the same age at the same time. And that makes me think of this Saturday. I went to a birthday party at, if you're a local to Atlanta, you might have heard of this place. I didn't know about it until last year. It was my first time ever going and ever hearing about it, but it's called the 57th Fighter Group Restaurant. And it is like on this little airstrip. It's like it turns into a disco at night. There's a huge dance floor.
It's Johnny's Hideaway adjacent.
Yes, it is. And it's a little bit nicer, I would say. Not as crammed, but it's a different vibe too. Like, it's not as, like, Johnny's is a whole other experience, but it is adjacent.
The crowd that goes to Johnny's also would go to 57th. Yeah.
Yes, same crowd. So we're walking in. I'm walking in with J-Dog, and these two women are in front of us, and they are, first of all, stunning, and I can tell they're glam. I am checking them out from toe to head because I saw shoes at first, and I was like, oh my God. And then I saw their bag, and I saw their skirt, their dress, and I'm doing this, and I get up to the top of their hair, and they are platinum blonde, and they're I would say late 50s, early 60s. I walked past them and I was admiring them. I was like, oh, look, besties. And they're besties too, you can tell. And one is putting on a birthday sash, and her friend is making her, and they're giggling, and they're obviously like, they've had a few cocktails. They must have went to eat before this, but she's putting on a tiara on her, and we walk past them because they stop. So we continue on, and they go, oh my gosh, your boots. And I turn around and I go, like, I was so flattered that they thought I looked cool because I thought they looked cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Nine West. I was like, don't sleep on them. And I was like, and they're like, oh, Nine West, you guys, your age shop's 9 West. We've been doing 9 West for years. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you guys look so fabulous. Blah, 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 blah. Like telling them, they were like, oh. And I just felt like it was like girlhood to the max. And it made me so happy. I turned bright red. I was like embarrassed, like shy, because I was just like, look at us girls just like bonding over fashion.
It never stops.
It never stops. And it makes me so happy. And I feel like going to the mall, I have really good interactions for the most part going to the mall. I did have one time at Lenox, someone tried to, now I'm thinking sex traffic me, but they were telling me, it was a woman, and she was telling me to go, that I should sell Mary Kay. And I was like, I didn't know that existed still. And then she stopped me again in another store. It was clear she was following me. She kept saying, oh my gosh, we're running into each other again. I was like, hello? So that was the only bad experience. But I will be in a store and all of a sudden starting talking to someone, like another customer, and bond. And I feel like that happens when you're really in the magic of shopping. It happened in LA a lot too. I'd like set my bag down and whoever was checking me out would be like, oh my gosh, your bag, blah, blah, blah. And then we'd have this whole conversation about like where we like to shop, where we like to get our bags, what kind of bags we like to carry. And malls are just magic.
Yeah, I still really feel like the one thing that I wish that I could have done with my mom is she really, really loved fashion, which is probably why we went to the mall so often. And she also worked in the mall up until I was born. Like she managed retail stores, and she always wanted to open her own boutique. And that was kind of like something I learned about her. Like she never like withheld it from me, but I wish I would have known that earlier, because I'm like, I would open.
You could have done it.
There's still some days where I'm like, I miss working retail. I miss working at the mall. I miss, to your point about like that magic of shopping. I miss being a provider of that to people. I miss when people would let me style them. I miss when people would be my regular clientele and they would say, call me when this comes in, or I would call them just to say something looks just like you. I just opened this box and like this incredible jacket's right here. Like I miss that whole vibe. I miss changing the mannequins.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun.
I miss walking in the mall and seeing the people I knew that worked there. They just changed their display. I miss the retailness of it. However, such hard work. Like
I can only imagine
such hard work.
I had a buddy who worked at Free People, and she managed it, and the one at Lenox for like, she only did this for like, it was like a transition when she moved to Atlanta. I was kind of like, she just worked there for like a year, maybe less than a year. And homegirl told me the scariest stories, and like just like about shoplifters or just about it being difficult. But also, I mean, I don't think I want to work in a mall like that. I do not want to close. I never want to close. I could open. I don't want to close. I'm just scared. But I think we underestimate, and I would like to bring this back. And you and I do this sometimes when we have like a day, especially if we go on a trip. Jessi and I have fun doing this, but bring back shopping with your friends. Bring it back. I don't think people do that enough.
I love to do that because I am number one enabler. Also, like,
I'm going to encourage you.
My friend Kate, for instance, like I poke fun at her. I love her so much, but she is the type of person where she's going to go around a store 50 times, make you believe that she's going to pick up something because she has great taste. She picks it up, make you think that she's going to get it. And so I'm in the background going, who, let's go. Yes. Ring her up, and charge it.
12 things in your hand.
And then she's so responsible, and she's going to put it back and she's going to think on it. She might think on it for 2 days. She might think on it for 2 years. But like, I don't have that inside of me. When I shop, I am so impulsive. And if my friend is telling me to get it.
You're my favorite person to shop with because of that.
If my friend is telling me to get it, I'm like, well, okay, she loves me. She wants me to be happy. Vice versa. I love her. I want her to be happy. Also, we need to get the things.
How therapeutic is it to like, okay, go to a mall or a store with your friend, and you walk in, and at first you kind of like are next to each other looking through stuff, and then you separate naturally. You get in the groove, you find your own paths, and then you try on at the same time. You make sure you try on at the same time so you can show each other. You show each other things, you figure it out, and then you do another round of the store. And then after that, you go to a lunch.
Maybe you're going to go to the Nordstrom Cafe.
One of the best days. Like that is so much fun.
That's true.
I love it.
Me too. I do love it.
I also, when I'm shopping by myself, especially at a mall, because you can, oh,
Hello, are you okay? You just whipped yourself in the face with your,
got caught.
oh my Lord, child, are you okay?
Yes, that was so weird.
Oh, no.
But if I'm at a mall and I'm not sure if I need this thing, like if I'm like, I think I'm being compulsive, I will set the item down and I will say, if you're meant for me, I will come back for you in 30. I'm going to go to the Anthropologie, sniff every candle, find out if there's a new scent that I like, because homegirls, they be pumping out some candles, some scents, and I love a candle. So sniff, have a seizure, sniff, because you're breathing in all of the toxic chemicals, seizure, sniff, candles, then go back and then pick it up again and really look at it. And I really look at, like, how is it made? I mean, it's why I stopped shopping at Zara, honestly, because I started doing that at Zara specifically because I can compulsive buy in there. But then I realized half of it's, more than half, is made so poorly that I'm like,
My closing thought for the day is this. If you know me, or even if you don't know me and you want to DM me and you're out and about and you find something that you're on the fence about, if you send me a picture and ask me what I think, not only am I going to tell you the truth, I'm going to also ask you, I'm going to ask you important questions about who, what, when, where, why are we getting this garment, this item. And then I'm going to help you make the decision. It is, I love to do it. That is my final thought. If you need me, I'm here for you. And I mean that wholeheartedly.
Jesse's the first person I send anything to. I actually don't send things to a lot of people because I don't think people, a lot of times they'll turn me down. They're like, that's weird. You'll never wear it. And I'm like, you're not thinking. I'll send it to Jessie and she'll be like,
she'll ask one of those
questions and then she'll be real with me. And sometimes it's a no-go. Sometimes it's a yes go.
It's true. Samesies. We do that for each other.
It's the best. It's so much fun. I encourage you to go to a mall this week. Make it a date. Go with your girlfriends. Go with your boyfriends. It's so much fun. I love a mall.
Yes, we do.
And
love a mall.
I hope with the recession indicators that we're seeing now, with the music, with the fashion, with everything, with even TV and film snaps, I would like to see malls get a resurgence, because I think it's time. I think we're going to go back and we need to touch the item in person, and I'm sick of shopping online. I really am. I will not return it if I buy it online, and that's a horrible, unless they have a brick and mortar.
I was going to say, I love both. Catch me on a different day. Some days I might be right there with you at the mall.
Unless
and
it's
days,
like eBay or something.
So, but see, I love online shopping is a whole other topic. So I'm just going to zip, zap, zap. But
it's dangerous.
I think with that,
pockets are deep when I'm online.
Money's not real.
It's not real because I can't see it. I can't touch it.
I think with that,
I'm just plugging in numbers.
We will ask you to please rate, review, subscribe.
We're going to the mall. We got to go.
We got to get out of here. We have to go get our double doozy. Please rate, review, subscribe. Please send this episode to a mall loving friend. And please know that we love you, and we will see you next Thursday.
Janine, take us to the mall, sis. I want to go to the mall with Janine.
Oh, okay.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.